Our story of the Austen family has two potential paths to Louisiana. One begins in 1515 when John Austen was born in Gloucestershire County on England's west coast. Over the next 240 years, 9 generations of the Austen family lived in and near Ely, where birth, marriage, and death records were well preserved by the Church of England. In 1755, Bennett and Anne Austen welcome a son they named John. Then, sometimes after 1770 and before 1785, 10th generation son John Austen leaves Ely for America. In 1775, young John would have been around 20 years old, the perfect age to join or be enrolled in the British Army or Navy for the war between the American colonies and the British. After the Revolutionary War, we find John settled on the Hudson River north of New York City. In 1785, his family has a son, John Jones Austen. One version of genealogical research says this is the John Jones Austen who moved to Louisiana, but there are no documents to validate that story. Another version relies on the U.S. Census, where a later member of the Louisiana Austen family lists their ancestors as coming to Louisiana from Virginia or Maryland, not New York. But again, no further documentation exists. In any event, we pick up the documented Austen family story in Louisiana in the 1790s. After arriving in Louisiana, John Austen received a Spanish land grant for 504 acres in the Florida Territory of Louisiana. John becomes a plantation owner and with enslaved people cultivates the land. He marries Sarah Jones of Natchez, Mississippi at St. Joseph Church in Baton Rouge in 1804. Then, in 1810, residents rebel against the Spanish, and John Austen is among the group to defeat the Spanish in a battle near Port Hudson. Later, the Florida Territory joins the U.S. and becomes part of Louisiana. In 1814, John Austen joins the Americans as a lieutenant in Andrew Jackson's army to defeat the British in the Battle of New Orleans. Afterwards, he returns to his plantation, enters politics, becomes Justice of the Peace, and a member of the local police jury. His son, John Quincy Adams Austen, was born in 1823 in West Feliciana Parish. In 1846, John Quincy enlists in the U.S. Army for the Mexican-American War. He returns from Mexico to West Feliciana. Then, in 1848, he marries Millie Tuberville, and the couple moves to Wilkinson County, Mississippi, where he works as an overseer. But in 1863, he joins the Confederate Army midway through the Civil War. He is later captured by Union forces, held as a POW, then released in Alabama in May 1865. After the war, John Quincy comes home to West Feliciana Parish and returns to farming. He and Millie start a family and welcome Jones H. Austen in 1866. Young Jones grows up on the family farm in West Feliciana and marries Margaret Peterson in 1889. The couple has 10 children, the youngest, Sarah Irena Austen, born in 1913. At the age of 15, young Sarah marries Joseph Alexander Wren, who has recently come to the area to work at the Standard Oil Refinery. The couple settles on Levy Lane in Baker. They have 6 children, and the third is Hilda May, born on May 24, 1934. Alex and Sarah live in Baker until Alex retires in the 1960s when they move to Sanama. Hilda's story continues in the Sheets family timeline.